What's up guys, my name is Jack, you're watching JBTCG, and today we're talking about my top 5 undervalued Pokemon sealed products. Apologies, my hair is a mess, I just got up, I got work right after this. But I wanted to film this video because you guys overwhelmingly voted for it in the poll I put out, so I had to get it out to you. So quickly, before I hop into my list, what am I looking for in an undervalued product? Well, there's a bunch of different criteria I'm kind of looking for. So one is the value of the actual set. So for a set, you add up like all the top chase cards, like for 151, here are some of them. But you take all of them, add them up, how much money are they worth? And generally, the sets with more value in the actual set itself are going to have sealed products that are worth more. It's not rocket science, and I'm sure most of you already know it. And then another big criteria that I'm looking for in an undervalued product is that it has a lower price per pack when you compare it to other sealed products from that set. Take like Silver Tempest. The Silver Tempest sleeve boosters, if these cost $2 and the packs from an ETB cost $3 or $4, then the sleeve boosters are undervalued. Because eventually the cost per pack between all of the sealed products kind of evens out. Now obviously there are exceptions, things like the XY and black and white ETBs that are extremely expensive. Those have their own demand from people wanting to collect ETBs. But for most modern sets like Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, which have kind of shaken out, the price per pack is pretty even between all the products. So now that we know what I'm looking for, let's hop into the top 5. All right, at number 5, this is one that we're looking at set value mainly here. And this is Silver Tempest, sleeve booster packs, and ETBs. Your price per pack for these is going to be in the low threes. Even if you buy from eBay where things are generally a little more expensive because of the fees, you can get a set of 36 sleeve booster packs for $120. Silver Tempest ETBs, on the other hand, have been hovering right around $30, which is a little closer to $4 per pack, but you have some ancillary products in there that are worth maybe $1 or $2, like the sleeves and all that other stuff. But regardless, we'll say the ETB is in the high threes. Well, the actual value for this set is pretty high. I'll put it up on screen. It's much higher than most of the modern Scarlet and Violet sets, mainly thanks to the Lugia V alt art, but it does pale in comparison to some of the big Sword and Shield sets. So I can see why it's undervalued. It makes perfect sense. Like, there's so many other hyped things in the hobby right now, and Silver Tempest is just kind of being forgotten about at the moment. But I think long term, people are really going to want to open this set and chase the Lugia V alt art. Like, even if we look at sets like Burning Shadows, which has one chase card, which is the Rainbow Charizard. It's a huge card, huge price tag, but the set has nothing else. Now, I'm not saying Silver Tempest has nothing else besides the Lugia V, but it doesn't have crazy depth. And even Burning Shadows at this point is worth around $10 to $12 per pack. And these sleeve packs aren't ugly, like they have a Lugia one and a Alolan Vulpix, and then obviously you have Regidrago and Regieleki, which aren't the best in terms of displayability, but they aren't the ugliest sleeve packs I've ever seen. So I think there will be demand for the sleeve boosters long term. People will look for art sets and stuff like that, similar to Sun and Moon and similar to X and Y. And the ETBs are great for display. The Alolan Vulpix, the blue, the white, it's a great looking ETB, and for people that get into the hobby way in the future, I think they'll look back on it and be like, ooh, I need that for my collection. Not to mention that the price per pack for the booster box is sitting right around $4.50 to $5. This is significantly higher than the sleeve boosters and the ETB. In my opinion, both of these products have some room to grow. Alright, for number 4, we're going to hop on over to the Pokemon Center and look at the Brilliant Stars 3-pack blisters. You get 3 packs and a choice between one of 2 Evolution promo cards, and your total price for that is $13. 3-pack blisters generally do pretty well over time. They kind of match up with sleeve boosters, ETBs, booster boxes, and if the promo card for these 3-pack blisters is good, then they can actually outperform things in terms of a price per pack ratio when you compare them to booster boxes. Okay, so why do I think these are undervalued? Well, the market price for these things, if you go on things like TCG Player or eBay, is above that of the Pokemon Center. So that's your first indicator. And our price per pack from a booster box is a little over $5 per pack. So getting 3 of these packs for $13 plus a nice promo card, that's a really good deal. Now to prove my point, let's take a quick look at some other Evolution promo card 3-pack blisters. And don't worry, these aren't from Sun and Moon, these aren't XY, these are from the Sword and Shield era. Take a look at the market price for the Fusion Strike 3-pack blister. Well, there's 2 versions of these Fusion Strike ones. There's one with Eevee and there's one with Espeon. And the Espeon version is significantly more expensive than the Eevee version. Okay, so why is that? Well, do people just love Espeon way more than Eevee? Well, maybe, but what I see going on is that the EV one actually stayed on the Pokemon Center significantly longer than the Espeon one. So the 3-pack blister with the Espeon promo had more time to sit in the market and let the secondary market and the collectors determine its new MSRP. And if you take a look at the Evolving Skies 3-pack blister, it's insanely expensive, even having a higher price per pack than that of the booster box. So in my opinion, the only thing that's tethering these Brilliant Stars 3-pack blisters down in price is the fact that they're available for MSRP on the Pokemon Center. I think once they go out of stock and the secondary market has a few months to kind of determine what the price should be, we'll see a nice little uptick on these things. I also think the same for the Fusion Strike 3-pack blister, but it's more expensive now since it isn't available on the Pokemon Center. Now, another point for this, which doesn't really count in the realm of being undervalued or anything, but you can still use the Worlds 2024 promo at checkout from the Pokemon Center, and you get a $8 to $9 card for free with your order. So I don't know if we can count that and making these 3-pack blisters more undervalued, but I'm just saying that's a super good deal, and I'm actually picking some up myself. At number 3, I have Paradox Rift booster boxes. Now, I don't love the Paradox Rift set. I don't think it's the best Scarlet and Violet set, but that's not what this video is about. The reason that I think Paradox Rift booster boxes are undervalued is because I think they're just sliding under the radar with all the hype around things like Twilight Masquerade and all the future sets that are coming. The hype train is chugging along to things like the Terrestrial Festival with the EVs and the Go Rocket and the tag teams, and this set is kind of being forgotten about right now. And if I'm being honest, I think it's probably the 3rd worst Scarlet and Violet set. It's in front of Obsidian Flames and Scarlet and Violet base, so I don't think it's an insanely good set. But right now you can get it for below $100 pretty much everywhere. It's priced about the same as Scarlet and Violet base, which is a set that has a top chase card at $25. Now, Paradox Rift's top chase cards aren't the most gleaming insane things, but it has 2 cards sitting right around $50. Do I think this is the best play with your money? Probably not. Paradox Rift is good, but it's not great. But right now, it's being priced like it's garbage. You can scoop up these booster boxes for dirt cheap. And personally, I just think they're slightly undervalued for what they are. And at number 2, I have Lost Origin and Brilliant Stars Pokemon Center ETBs. I've been talking about these ETBs for a good while now, and for good reason. These things are awesome. They're great alternative arts to the ETBs that we know and love, and they come with some unique little things inside. And they just sit on the Pokemon Center at $50 per ETB. With both Lost Origin and Brilliant Stars kind of creeping up in value and the ETBs following suit, they've begun putting pressure on these Pokemon Center ETBs, where the difference between the regular ETB and the Pokemon Center ETB is getting really slim. Because these Pokemon Center versions are more unique and more exclusive, I think they'll always hold a premium over the regular ETB, but right now, because of the Pokemon Center, the prices are pretty close. And personally, I don't think they should be. Alright, before we get to first place, I wanted to give a quick honorable mention to Paldea Evolved ETBs. Now, I won't go crazy in depth with these, but it's a good ETB, it has great display ability, really good promo card, has all the starters and Pikachu right up front. And everyone has been hyping up and pumping Paldea Evolved booster boxes this whole past 3 months. But these Paldea Evolved ETBs are kind of sitting stagnant. And I know ETBs take up way more space than a booster box, so people that are big investors tend to shy away from them. In my opinion, if you have the space to hold ETBs, there's nothing wrong with investing in them, especially since over time the price per pack for these things kind of evens out. And I think it hits all the marks. Great design on the ETB, great promo card, and great packs inside. And right now you can buy cases of this on eBay for $300 to $320. And personally, I picked up 3 of these ETBs on TikTok Shop with coupons, $26.50 per ETB. If that isn't undervalued, I don't know what is. Alright, on to number 1, and I apologize, this isn't some crazy out of left field surprise or anything like that, but we have the king, 151 Japanese. I think people seem to forget that this set was up at $200 to $220 a box 6 months ago. They reprinted it, sure, and way more supply came onto the market, which is why the price went down, obviously. But does that make the actual set itself worse? In my opinion, no. Supply dries up. This is the most open product on every single rip and ship site. I guarantee that there will be 5 times as many people opening 151 Japanese as there are Paldea Evolved or Paradox Rift or any other recent Scarlet and Violet set. It's just so fun to open, and this supply will dry up. I think people also forget that sets like Primal Clash and Roaring Skies were down at $70 a booster box. Thinking about buying Primal Clash and Roaring Skies booster boxes at $70 nowadays sounds like a holy grail, but back then people were just trying to dump this product. and they managed to make massive gains over time because somehow supply dried up. Shocker, people loved opening those sets and chasing those Mega Evolution cards. Well, from what I've seen, people love opening 151 Japanese, chasing the Master Balls, all the Cantonian Pokemon, way more than I saw the desire to open any of those XY sets. I know right now isn't the bottom for 151. You could have gotten in on these booster boxes about $10 lower than their current prices. They're sitting around low 70s, high 60s. And if you buy them on TikTok Shop and you get the 20% off coupons and stuff like that, you can get them like high 50s, low 60s. And look, I don't use the guarantee word very often, but I guarantee supply of this will go down significantly over time. Now, if they do another massive reprint in the future, that could change things. But still, I think over time, supply of this will just continue to dry up because people cannot stop opening it. I think $70 is really cheap for one of these booster boxes. And considering in a poll I put out, more people prefer opening the Japanese version to the English version, I think this is still the most undervalued product on the market right now. Let me know what products you think are undervalued in the comments, and if you think I was completely out of my mind with my picks. Drop a sub, we're pushing to 700 subscribers, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay safe out there.